Around a month ago, I was watching Netflix's new action comedy drama, The Brother's Son. And it was really good. The writing was amazing. I was genuinely invested in this puppy, and let me tell you, that's not easy. The acting was amazing, Michelle Yeoh, obviously, and our two leads are also incredible. Not to mention, almost completely unheard of, which is rare for a project of this scale. Good on them. The show is genuinely funny.
Look. Don't make us do this, bro.
It's directed really well with some clever visual tricks, and the action is... Yep, pretty damn good. It's overall a very good show, but there was one particular part of it that really stood out to me, and that was the soundtrack. Music has always been an important yet underappreciated element of storytelling. A soundtrack can make or break an experience, but a lot of people don't notice this. Because music rarely takes center stage, it's often designed to set the tone of a scene without drawing attention to itself, and as a result it will for the most part go unnoticed. It is an invisible art. It's there to sound out the things we can't see, to tell us when to feel sad, when to feel glad, and yada yada. On the flip side, we have universally acclaimed soundtracks, where people will watch the show or the film or whatever and say, damn, that was a good soundtrack, you couldn't have done that without the soundtrack. But how do they garner that response? Well, let's look at two films known for their soundtracks, Guardians of the Galaxy and Baby Driver. In both these films, the soundtrack is a crucial part of the narrative. In Guardians, it's an extension of Quill's unconventionally naive and cocky personality, but it's also his last tie to his deceased mother. In Baby Driver, the music is not only a way for Baby to release the personality he can't afford to have, it's an extension of his world. Car chases, action scenes, they all play out to the beat of his music. But it's also his last tie to his deceased mother, wait a second. And both times the soundtrack is visualized in the form of an object. In Baby Driver it's various iPods, and in Guardians it's what is that, a Walkman? I wouldn't know, I'm not old. I'm stuck using Bluetooth earbuds, much to my own dismay. Ugly pieces of shit. But yeah, that's what it takes to get a soundtrack to stand out. You rub it in their faces, you make the invisible visible, you make it a MacGuffin, you get the characters to acknowledge it.
The melody is pleasant.
Because otherwise it will just go unnoticed. The invisible art, the sound of emotion. This is why the Brother's Son soundtrack surprised me. It doesn't fall into either of these categories. The music neither feels like simple background noise, nor does the show revolve around it. No one listens to music, no one talks about music, it's nobody's last tie to their deceased mother, and it's almost never visualized. So how come the soundtrack, original and licensed, stood out so much to me? Well, to give it to you in technical terms, it's really loud. While the music may not be characterized, it feels so important and so present because it's always pushed to the foreground. This isn't just the sound of emotion that's supposed to go unnoticed, it's a centerpiece of the scene. But that's not really special. For years, films have emphasized a song at key points to convey the significance of the moment. It can set an emotional tone or just be really awesome. The Brother's Son stands out because of just how frequently it uses this trick. Every other scene is just... No matter the context. It does play during those key narrative moments, but it also plays when a guy is just walking into a building. Now, I know what I'm saying doesn't sound that good. The brother's son takes a powerful trick normally reserved for moments of importance and just uses it all the goddamn time. It sounds like criticism, but I actually mean it as a good thing. The show's relentless use of this loud music surprisingly does not distract from the scene, but elevates it. If the brother's son was a person with nice blue eyes, the soundtrack is a nice blue shirt the show puts on to really make its eyes pop. That has got to be the gayest analogy I've ever come up with. When you think of a good soundtrack, you're probably thinking of something that tends to stick to one particular type of music, but The Brother's Son succeeds by doing the opposite. There is a wide variety of songs, and the show cleverly chooses what type of song goes with what scene. Is a professional killer hiding from his dangerous lifestyle with some baking? Play something classical, classy, sincere. Then contrast that with his soft younger brother's mundane, safe life, and use something more modern, loud and aggressive. Because he's compensating for the excitement he doesn't have in his normal life. Remember that one with the guy walking into a building? Well, that's actually to assist our rising tension as our hero is caught in the middle of an assassination that he doesn't know about. One of my biggest pet peeves with modern films is their tendency to use music as a get-out-of-jail-free card, where you'll have a character simply walking while some god-awful techno-hip-hop hybrid blares, which is always because the makers just didn't really know what they were doing and had to fill some time. On the surface, it looks like this is what The Brother's Son is doing, but it's so much more than that. If every scene was a person with whatever color of eye, the music is a cleverly chosen color of shirt to highlight the scene's eyes. While the show isn't necessarily doing anything new with its soundtrack, it's the degree to which it does it that makes it stand out. The result is a show that feels somewhat heightened, more vibrant and expressive, all through the power of an invisible art. While music itself has no place in the world of The Brother's Son, its impact on the show's presentation cannot be understated, and I'm curious to see if anyone takes note. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to focus on a very particular part of the soundtrack, specifically this part. This tune shows up multiple times across the show's original soundtrack, and what a tune it is. It's so miserable, it just gets me, you know what I mean? It's like somebody told the soundtrack guys, hey, we need you to create the sound of repressed emotional tragedy. And they just fucking did it. I really like the way this tune is used as the sound of Charles's shattered innocence. It plays when he first sees his mum again, a sweet moment tainted by the man that he is and the things that he's done.
Is this him? It looks soft.
Not soft. Sensitive.
Same thing.
It plays later, when Charles recounts his first kill, the moment he lost his innocence, and we get to see his brother realize what he is, this tortured soldier who never had a choice in what he was gonna be.
I am Chairleg's son, ruthless defender of the Jade Dragons. Just what I mean.
Then it plays at the end, when things come full circle, and Bruce realizes he's going to have to do the same thing. He's going to have to cross that line.
Well, now I choose this. I choose being a man and to protect the family.
Look, it's called The Brother's Son, it's on Netflix, it's fun, it's intense, it's heartfelt, it's smart, and like I just said, it's got away with music. It's also cancelled, which, yeah, just for fuck's sake. Don't let that dissuade you though, it's a closed narrative, no big cliffhangers. Lesson be learned, kids. It doesn't matter how good your show is if you don't advertise the damn thing.
最深的地道伤口